Welcome to all. I am Sadana. I am studying 9A and I am studying in Junior IAS Academy. Today I am going to take a lesson from Social Science, Geography, Unit 3, Atmosphere. Atmosphere, we itself know the earth have an atmosphere. Atmosphere means the earth outer layer is called as a atmosphere, like that. We have four spheres like the lithosphere and atmosphere, hydrosphere and biosphere. There are four spheres. Now we're going to learn about atmosphere, but we can know about the four sphere not briefly, but just like that. The lithosphere is the solid outer part of the earth, and the atmosphere is the thin layer and the gaseous surrounds the earth. The hydrosphere is the watery part of the surface. It includes oceans, rivers, lakes, and water vapor. The biosphere is the layer of the earth where the life exists. These are the four spheres. Let's go to the lesson. We know about the atmosphere now little bit, and earth is the unique place to live a life. And can you imagine that when the air is not there in the earth, how we can live? And there are 8 planets there, but only one planet have the air. So earth is a very special planet. The blanket of the air surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere. The earth is there means the one will be surrounded by that. It is called as the atmosphere. Okay, that is the one of the spheres. Like that, there are four spheres. That the atmosphere is one of the sphere. Let's go in through about the atmosphere. Atmosphere is mixture of gases. There are many gases in the atmosphere layer that are water vapor, dust particles. We can see the dust particles when the sunlight is coming like that, and in different portions they will there. Nitrogen and oxygen. They will have nitrogen and oxygen. Nitrogen have 78 percentage in the atmosphere, and oxygen will have 21 percentage only. Oxygen is smaller than the nitrogen. Okay, in 1772 CE, the Daniel Rutherford discovered the nitrogen in the atmosphere. In 1772, he discovered that in CE. His name is, I'm writing, his name is Daniel Rutherford. He discovered the nitrogen in the atmosphere. In 1772, he discovered, and in 1774, Joseph was discovered the oxygen in atmosphere. Joseph presently. Joseph presently. He was discovered the oxygen in the atmosphere. The two of them discovers someone. He discovered the nitrogen. He discovered the oxygen. Are the permanent gases in the atmosphere. It will be there for all. It will be there permanently. It will be stay there. And when we total the 78 and 21. We total this when we add this 8 plus 1 is 9 coming, and the 7 plus 2 is 9. Only 99 percentage are there in the atmosphere. Where is 1 percentage? Now we are going to know about the 1 percentage there. The remaining 1 percentage is occupied in we in 1 percentage itself we are containing many gases in there. So in atmosphere we are having many gases there, like oxygen, nitrogen, now argon is the one is containing 0.93 percentage in the atmosphere layer, and in carbon dioxide carbon dioxide it contains, we know we inhale and exhale the carbon dioxide only. And next is neon. Neon is the another one of the gas that is the 0.0018 percentage. Okay, next is helium. Helium is the other gas. There are many gases, no? The helium is one of that 0.0005 percentage. Next one are carbon dioxide and methane also present in the tracks. That names are carbon, xenon and methane. These are also present in there in the track. Water vapor also will be there. There are and the water vapor will contains the water vapor will contain 0 minus 0.4 percentage in the atmosphere. It contains 0 minus 0.4 percentage. It also found in atmosphere, which plays important role. The atmosphere is whether it will be phenomena. The other solid particles present in the atmosphere includes dust particles are present in the atmosphere, we know, and the salt particles also present in the atmosphere. And pollen grain, smoke, salt, volcano ashes. Last lesson we see the volcanoes and volcano ashes will come, that also present in the atmosphere of the earth. Next is oxygen is the most important for the living organism. We itself breathe oxygen only. We don't breathe carbon dioxide and all. The CO2 absorbs the heat and keeps the atmosphere warm. CO2. It is one is absorb the heat and it keeps the atmosphere warm. Insulations and the radiance of the nitrogen acts diluted chemical inactivity. Ozone helps to protect the harmful ultraviolet radiation from the earth. Ozone layer will protect that. The solid particles of the atmosphere acts as the nucleus. When bacteria or when ammonia like that in diagrams we can see diagrams or it itself the bacteria itself we can see there will be a nucleus like that. In that the solid particles acts as the atmosphere nuclear. Okay, next is on which water vapor condition to form the precipitation. Next, we go to the structures of atmosphere. The atmosphere is a thick near to the Earth's surface. It will be near to, not so closer, but it will be near, and it thins out and eventually merges with space. There are 5 layers in atmosphere, not in other spheres. First we see no lithosphere, atmosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Not that. In atmosphere itself we have 5. That is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, and thermosphere and exosphere. There are 5 spheres there. Let's go into that 5 spheres. Let me draw it. When the earth is there, when the earth is like this and there is one sphere there, that is called as the thermosphere. This is the first sphere in there, that is the thermosphere. let's know about that. The lowest layer of the atmosphere is the thermosphere, and the Greek word. This is a Greek word. They will the POS. This is a Greek word. It is in Greek. That means turn or change. The Greek word means turn or change. This is a Greek word. This is meaning is turn or change. And a layer extends up to 8 kilometers. That will extend to 8 kilometers. At the poles, it up to 18 kilometers at the equator. It extend 8 kilometers and the poles up to 18 kilometers equator. Okay, the temperature decrease with increasing height. When the thermosphere increase its ice and the temperature will be decrease. Almost the weather takes place in this layer. The weather will take place in this layer, and the upper limit of the thermosphere called this is called as a thermosphere, and the upper layer is called with another name. That is this Thermopause. That is the upper limit of the thermosphere. Next we go to the second atmosphere layer, that is the stratosphere, that lays above. It will lays above of the thermosphere. That names as a stratosphere. This is the stratosphere that lies above the troposphere, and it height to be about 50 kilometer above the earth. The distance is 50 kilometer. It have the distance 50 kilometer. The thermosphere have 8 kilometer. This have 50 kilometer height. Since the layer concentration of the ozone molecules, the stratosphere concentrates on the ozone molecules mainly, and it also referred as ozosphere. It also known as or referred as ozone sphere. Ozone sphere. The temperature increase when the height also increase. In the thermosphere, the temperature will be decreased when the height is increased. But here, the two of them are same. The temperature increase and the height will also increase. And next one is large jet planes normally fly here. It is going out to the two layers. Large jet planes will fly there, and it will fly upper. The upper limit of first itself we see this have another upper. It have a upper limit like that. In this layer also it having an upper limit. That is name is stratopause. Oh. Stratopause. Okay, I think the five itself have the upper limit. It also having an upper limit. Stratopause. Next is we go to the mesopause, the third layer of the atmosphere. This is the third layer. Let know about the third layer of the atmosphere. That is mesosphere. Mesosphere. This is the third layer that extends between the 50 kilometer. This also extends between 50 or 80. it will it will have some distance only to the stratosphere. It will so closer to the stratosphere. The temperature decrease when the increasing height like the thermosphere. Like the thermosphere, it will decrease the temperature and will increase the height when the most meteoroids nearing to the earth get burned here. When the meteoroids are like any some particles coming here, the mesosphere will burn the things. They will burn the things, and the when it is come to the earth, it will burn the things. The one layer is protecting us. The uppermost limit of the mesosphere is mesopause. I say no like that. It having the all having the upper limit. Let's move on to fourth part. Fourth sphere. The fourth sphere is thermosphere. I don't have these, so I'm writing this. The thermosphere is the fourth sphere of the earth. Next, only one sphere is there. This is the thermosphere. 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 This is the thermosphere. Let's know more about it. The thermosphere is about the we itself know that is next to the mesosphere only, and it is exists above here that extends to the 600 kilometers. This have 80 kilometers. It is long distance. It having 600 kilometers. So it is how far it is. And next is the lower thermosphere is more or less uniform. The thermosphere have more or less. They have the uniform. Hence it is called as homosphere. It is called also as homosphere. I think it have two names. The upper portion of the thermosphere uneven composition in the gas, hence it is referred as the heterosphere. It have another name, don't confuse it. It have another name, and the heterosphere, the upper part uneven composition of the gas, that is called as heterosphere. That is heterosphere. Again, I am telling the upper portion of the thermosphere as uneven composition of gas, and it is called as heterosphere. Next, here is the temperature increase, the height also increases. The temperature will increase and the height also increase here. We saw in water, in the second we saw about that when the temperatures increase and the height also increase. Here we saw in the second part, stratosphere, we saw about it. And it is also same as this, I think. It also increase the height and increase the temperature. Here, the ionosphere is the layer of the thermosphere that contains lone and free electrons. I think it have two layers. Ionosphere, it have a small layer like that. The ionosphere are there. The ionosphere contains lone and free electrons there. Radio waves transmit from Earth to reflect back from the layer. Radio waves transmit from the Earth and it reflects back to the Earth from the layers. When the radiation go out and the layers will get back into the Earth. Next is the last layer of the Earth. This is the last layer. This name is exosphere. In fourth one only, we don't have the upper limit. Exosphere. The uppermost layer of the atmosphere, it is the fifth one and it is the last one. The layer extremely rarefied with the gases gradually merged in the outer space. The zone is characterized by Aurora australis and Aurora borealis. There are two characteristics. Aurora australia. This is the one of the characteristics. Next one is Aurora borealis. Okay, here will come A. Harona. There is the two characteristics. These are the two characteristics of exosphere. Aronas are the cosmic glowing lights, product streams, and electrons discharged from the sun's surface due to the magnetic storms and scenic, unique, multicolor fireworks hanging in the polar sky during the midnight. This is to know something like that. To the electrons discharged from the sun's surface due to the magnetic storms. Next, we know the layers. Now we go to the weather and the climate. Climate means we self know. The climate will change, and the weather also change. We have many weathers. Weather and climate are the terms that related to the atmosphere. It also related to the atmosphere. There is the clouds, like that. The weather that denotes the atmosphere waves. We gave the days. And the climate reveals average of weather conditions over the related long period of time. The difference between the two may be clearly understood with the following table. Let's go to the following table. There are many factors that influence weather and climate. Distance from equator. They are all different from the equator. Equator is there and it distance it will keep the distance and altitude will be there. In max we can see altitude. Nearness to the sea. The earth have a sea, it have most part of the sea only. Nearness to the sea. Nature of prevailing winds. Mountain barrier, cloud cover, ocean currents, natural vegetation, like that many. Distance from the equator. First we going to go through the distance from the equator. The sun rays fall on the vertical on the equator. The sun rays include on the regions and away from the equator and the near the poles and the spherical shape of the earth. The visual rays each up the earth more than inclined rays. The places near the equator warmer than the places far from the equator. There is a equator is there and it is closer to the sun. In the equator will be very heat. Next, weather and climate. Last we see about this tableau column. And first we go through that altitude. Altitude refers to the height above main sea level. Altitude when there is a sea, it have the upper part. No, that height mean the sea level. There is a sea and it have a height upper than above. Then that is the this is the sea. I'm simply drawing. This is the height, no? That is above main sea level. The temperature decrease at the rate of 6.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer. Per kilometer, it will decrease the Celsius of height. It normally lapse rate. So the places at the higher latitude have a lower temperature. And like that. Nearness to the sea. We see about the nearness to the sea, lower specific heat capacity. Heat have lower specific heat capacity because the sea is there. Um, it is there is a sea. Sea is a big one, and this is the hot place, and this is the cold place here, and there will be the clouds, and this is the sun. Mm. Next, some trees are there. Like that, it will be like an circle when sea breeze. This is high pressure. And next is low temperature. It is like one circle. The high pressure is coming down and sea breeze is going there and the low temperature is go through that. Like this is the circle for a thing. This is like a circle here. Like that this is happening here. When in the night time it will reverse like that. In this high pressure here will come the low pressure will come, low pressure will come here and high pressure will go there. Like that it changes. When the low pressure go upper and the high pressure will come down to the sand, and it will become hot at the night time, not at the sun, when the morning time. Like that. Nature of the prevailing winds. We know about the winds. Wind changes the climate of the places and based on their blow. Wind change, here will wind come here, any places will the wind come and it will change the places, warm and cold. When it blows colder region it will be cold, when it will be go on the hotter region it will be hot, and the wind change as it is to as it is. In the one also the wind cause rainfall and place the cool when offshore winds bring dry weather. When onshore, you know about the seashore. Seashore means the corner and of the side of the sea. Like that, the wind causes rainfall, making the place good. The wind will come and the rainfall make the place cold there. There are all places in the seashore like these places when the rainfall come here and it will be cold there. And then next to the mountain barriers, the location of the mountain influence the climate of the place. The mountain chains acts as the natural barriers. In that location of the mountains, the climate of the place there, that is it is called as the natural barrier chains. Sometimes they prevent entry cold winds into the country or to escape the monsoon winds, thus having the great influence over the climate. Next is cloud cover. Cloud cover means the cloud cover reflect a large amount of radiation from the sun, thus prevents entry heat to the Earth's surface. So that areas generally cloudless, and it like the deserts. The temperature is very high. There the times will be heat there. One on the other hand, under the cloudy sky, the temperature is low. Ocean currents. Let's know about ocean currents. The warm ocean current rises the temperature nearby the closest area. The closest area is here. The it will be got warm. The sea got warm means the temperature here will be got hot or else warm. like that. Natural vegetation. While it cold come, it will be cold there. Natural vegetation of it. The tree release the water vapor into the air. The tree release the water vapor into the air, and the air does the forest areas or rural range of the temperature throughout the non-forestation areas. Next is winds. Wind itself, we know about the wind. Wind means we can breathe that, and we can feel the wind. The horizontal movement of the air along the earth's surface, it is called as the wind, while the visual movement of the air is called air current. The wind blows from the higher pressure and air to the lower pressure area. It will change as it is advanced, and mostly named in the directions. For example, the wind is flowing from the east to easterly or east-west. And it is an important thing. An anemometer records the wind speed. There is to record a wind speed, there is one anemometer. It will be like someone there, we can see it will be like a straight, and it will have the four, and it will like it will like a one ball like this. It is called anemometer. Anemometer records the wind speed, and while the wind vane measures the direction of the wind. Wind vane means in the stamp. In the stamp, there one in the stick. One cock is sitting like that, and they will place east, east, west, south, north, like that. They will place the four side, and that is called the wind vane. It shows the directions. The unit of measurements is kilometer per hour or knots. The winds are measured like kilometer per hour or in knot. Types of wind. It classified into four major types. The wind is classified into the four major types. The four major types are planetary winds, periodic winds, variable winds, like that. Let's see about that. Planetary winds. Second is periodic winds. Third is variable wind. Fourth one is local wind. These are the four types of the wind we have, and the planetary wind that the same direction to the air. It have the same direction in the all year and all days in a year. They are also called as the permanent wind. Permanent wind. And the winds include tail winds, westerlies, and polar easterlies. And the planetary winds itself having including the winds, trade winds, western winds, and the polar easterlies. Let's to the trade winds. Trade winds blow from the subtropical high pressure belt and it equilateral the low pressure belt both in the hemisphere. The blow the great regularly force and it consists throughout the year. These winds are very useful to trades. Depend on the winds while sail in the sea that they name as the trade winds. So they name as the trade winds. Westerlies. Westerlies is the permanent winds blow in the tropical high pressure. It will be permanent and the subpolar low pressure in there. And the blow in the southwest to the northwest in the northern hemisphere and to the northwest and to the southwest to the southern hemisphere. The velocity of the west rides became so vigorous, the fast called be roaring 40s at 40 degree. It will be at the 40 degree and furious 50s at 50 degree and screaming 60s at the 60 degree latitudes. Next is polar easterlies. Ice. Polar easterlies ice are cold and dry polar easterlies. Ice. Polar easterlies ice or cold polar easterlies ice, the winds that blow from polar high pressure belt to the subpolar low pressure belt. And next is periodic winds. The periodic winds are the seasonal winds that change the direction to the periodically. They have some time to change their directions to their and with the wind revise the direction with the change the seasons called monsoon. When the season comes, they will change the direction of the season. The tropical monsoon winds of the Indian subcontinent is the best example for that. The tropical monsoon. Okay. Variable wind. Variable winds are there are cyclones. Cyclones, the term of the cyclones is from the Greek word meaning coil of a snake. Some more words are came by the winds. In this cyclones is there. This is a Greek word. It is called as the Greek word in Greek word is derived at it we are studying in English and it means the coil and of a snake. Coil of a snake. This is the coil of a snake. Cyclone centers have the low pressure where the winds surrounded in the high pressure. It have a low pressure when all that are in high pressure and the area covered to that center is a spiral form. Cyclones means we get cyclones in 1 year we get one cyclones in Chennai in Tamil Nadu and all. It is like this. The cyclone